What is up, guys? This is Alan here from the YGO Circle, profiling Andrew's deck today. It's a fairy variant. I myself had the honor of naming it. We call this Bad Bitches. So, Andrew, let's get into it.
Alright, so this was the deck that I used last night for locals. I went 3-1 in main tournament and then took first in top 8. My only loss was actually to Deskbots, and that was because they opened 3 Machine Dupe, double MST, and another 3. And I had 2 back row, and he just flashed his hand, and that was game 3.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into Bad Bitches. Let's
Alright.
show them what we do.
Alright, so start off. To Athena. She is, without a doubt, the MVP of the deck. She's insane. Every time a fairy is summoned, you do 600 burn. And as you're going to see, there's a lot of looping and spamming in this deck. So she can burn a lot. And yeah, she turbos out all of your big guys.
Yeah, World Turbo.
Next up, we played the one of Christia, just because
Yeah.
I mean the Christia locks are really strong, and getting her to the deck to the grave really quick, and then Call of the Haunted is a very simple lock that can stun a lot of decks, because if you don't see it coming and you're mid combo, then done.
GG.
Now, card of the deck right here, the World. So, for those of you who don't know what this card does, it's a really sacky card. So when it's summoned, you toss a coin. If it's heads, during your end phase, you tribute 2 monsters, and then you skip your opponent's next turn.
Broken.
If it's tails, during your opponent's draw phase, they add the top card of their graveyard to their hand.
Yeah.
So the basic combo you do here is you use Athena, and you're gonna summon the World off of Athena, or Call of the Haunted, or something like that. And then if you don't get the effect you want, you use Athena's effect to send it back to grave and resummon it.
Yep, but you have to have another fairy in grave other than World to activate effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then once you get the World out, you use Athena's effect every turn to bring back Norden and another monster to tribute off for World, and at that point, I mean, if they didn't have an answer in the first place, that's basically game, because you're just going to keep skipping their turn until you win.
Yeah, that's pretty broken. The World Turbo, ladies and gentlemen.
But you only play one because you really don't want to see it in your hand very often. You want to get it from the deck to the grave. And then we played 1 Dwarf Star Dragon Planeter. Basically, it just searches Athena.
Yeah.
I liked it as a one-of just because getting Athena to the hand for when I saw my Adeas, because I'm also playing a Monarch engine, it was good.
Yeah.
If I bricked. Which, surprisingly, did not happen very often.
Except in our match.
Yeah. And then, so next up we had the Monarch engine.
Yeah.
So I was playing 3 of Aether.
Kind of standard.
Yeah. It's really good with your 2 of Karaz just for extra draw power, as well as if you really need to, Aether's a fairy, so you can send it with Athena or summon it with Athena if it's all you have.
Yeah.
To get your combos going. As well as just the playstyle I do. I like looping Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So I will get the extra draws off of Prime with Kuraz, so keeping an Aether on board, and then keeping 1 in hand with, say, Return.
Yeah.
Just to get the extra pluses every turn. And then, like I said, I was playing 3 of Adea with 1 of Ados.
Yep.
I would bump this to 2. After last night, I would play 2 just because there was too many situations where I didn't have 1 in deck for Adea, or because you don't really need these 2 together very often.
Yeah.
But I would play a 2, especially after my 1 Ados got trished out of my hand, and I cried.
Every time.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. All right, so next core of the deck, we're playing the Seraph engine. So we have 3 of Scepter, 3 of Sovereignty.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. You have your Athena to loop them, and you open with Scepter Sovereignty and you plus for days.
It's ridiculous.
That's that part. And now the next one was a personal preference. So basically it was Mathematician and Glow Up Bulb. So what the standard play is either you're going to use Mathematician to send one of your big guys to bring back, or you're going to use Mathematician to send Glow Up Bulb and go into Arclight. Because Arclight in the BA matchup is amazing.
Too strong.
And in the Cosmo matchup, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
If you can hit the right card with the negation. And anything else that's going to be sending stuff from deck to graveyard, Arclight's just incredible. And then we were playing 2 of Honest because, I mean...
Lights.
Your entire deck is almost all lights, and being able to beat over things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to beat over is really good, and the fact that you can bring it back with Athena and then bounce it back to your hand to crash over something big, way too strong. And the 600 burn. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned that about Athena.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good.
600 burn loops for days.
All right, and then so next we had a Gem Knight engine, but it was a little bit different. Instead of playing Garnets, I was actually playing 2 Gem Knight Lapis with the 3 Brilliant Fusion. Yeah. And that was because I had a couple different extra deck choices for this deck, which we'll get into later.
Yep.
I'm thinking about adding a 3rd Gem Knight. I don't know if it would be Lapis or not, but it is a definite possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but this was a deck that I kind of just threw together right before Locals again. I had a kind of general idea of the Athena and the World, but other than that, I didn't really know what I was going for yet.
Yeah.
So then, next we had 3 of Pantheism with 1 of Return. Draw.
Yeah.
Draw power.
Draw power necessary.
4 days. 1 of Reasoning, because we have 8s, we have 7s, we have 4s, we have 3s, we have 6s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to call the right number, so it really does come down to RNG, and getting the extra summon out can be pretty good, especially if it's a Kuraz.
Yep.
Oh, and we have 1s and 2s, so the odds of them hitting it right are pretty thin. And then last we have double instant fusion for the Norden.
Yeah.
And then 3 of Prime. Standard for the Monarch. 3 of Call of the Haunted, because there's really nothing in here that can't be summoned off of Call of the Haunted, and getting your big guys to the grave with the Brilliant Fusion and then just Call of the Haunting them back is amazing. Nuts. I mean, Brilliant Fusion with Christia.
Yeah.
And then you Call of the Haunted it back. And then you have 2 normal summons to play Monarch while you have a Christia on board, and it's just really good. And then Warning Vanities, because stun.
For the 44 card main board?
44 card main board.
44 card main board, ladies and gentlemen.
If you're not playing 40, might as well play 44.
Yep.
All right, and then moving on to the extra deck. So we had the Brilliant Fusion, so we have the 1 Seraphonite, which with the Star Seraph engine is insane.
It's too strong.
It's not fair. And then the card that actually won me the tournament was Lapis Lazuli.
Yep.
So basically, it was finals round. It was late game, and he had exactly 4k life left. He had 4 normal summon monsters, or 4 special summon monsters on board. I had 4 special summon monsters on board. I top decked the Brilliant Fusion, and 4k burned him per game.
Yeah. Can you explain what Lazuli does?
So basically, what it does is to summon it, it's Lapis Lazuli and any other any Gem Knight monster.
Yeah.
And then you send 1 Gem Knight monster from your main deck or your extra deck to the graveyard. And then you burn them for 500 life points for every special summon monster on the board.
So it's too strong, ladies and gentlemen.
So if they go for that fat board, and then you get out the Lazuli and you burn them for, easily 3k.
Yeah.
It's with your Athena burning them as well. I mean,
it's too strong.
You can steal a lot of games.
Yeah.
And then we have the 1 of Norden for the instant fusion. Arclight, I already talked about.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 synchros we were playing were Black Rose, which I never once made. But it's there because Kuraz and Glow Up Bulb, if you need to. It's not going to happen very often.
Yeah.
Trish put in work. Because, I mean, you can make it with Mathematician, Send Glow Up Bulb while you have a Prime in the grave. You can make it with your Star Seraphs.
It's ridiculous.
You can make it in
Yeah.
more than enough ways. Or,
Mhm.
I mean, there was one time that I had Glow Up Bulb in grave. I went Adea into Ados,
Yeah.
and then I got the Kuraz out, and they left it on board for a turn. And then I just brought the Glow Up Bulb back with the Kuraz and the Ados and synced for Trish the next turn. So, I mean, it was really bad because they left it on board, but it happened. It was funny. So then you have Deltaros, Ouroboros, and a Sigma for your Star Seraph engine.
Yeah.
Only made him once. He's all right. He's basically a 3-material honor arc.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a fairy, so
Yeah.
it fits in a little bit better with the Athena. These two put in work.
It's too strong.
The number of times that you make one of these two with 2 scepters in this deck, just because of the way you can recur stuff, is insane. So then you summon it and you get to pop 2, draw 2, and then with Deltaros you can either pop another, or with Ouroboros you can send a card from their hand to the graveyard, or return a card from their field to their hand.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I guess if you really need to, you can banish something, but
Mm-hmm.
didn't happen too much. But yeah, put in some major work. Then you had the One of Dweller.
Yep. And a standard.
Stunning. Then we had for rank 8s, we had Felgrand and Harbinger.
Yeah.
I made Felgrand once.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make Harbinger at all. But they're there for if you need them.
Yeah.
And then we are also citing the Winter Cherries. So we have one of Ignister, one of Dante, and one of Nova.
Yeah. Well, Nova to stop the Infinity play, Dante to kill BA, and Ignister to
Slow down Pepe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to kill him, but
Yeah.
or I guess you can't really call it Pepe anymore. Draco Pals.
Mm-hmm.
And then sideboard was not even a full sideboard, and I used almost none of it. So basically, we were playing 2 Scolding in the side,
Yeah.
1 Chaos Trap on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Never sided into those. 2 Ghost Reaper. Sided them in once. Didn't see them.
Damn.
1 Raigeki. Sided it in basically every game. Saw it a couple times. It was good. But,
Yeah.
thrown together decks.
They're bay. All right.
Somehow I still top.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this has been Bad Bitches here from Andrew in the YGF Circle. Very, 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 very creative. Kind of this card, borderline ban worthy. Look out for it. So yeah, guys.
Coming to a meta near you.
So yeah, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this deck profile. But anyway, this has been Alan here from the YGF Circle, signing out.